Welcome to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprofit.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey, and it's the Tuesday episode of the show, so we're talking waiver wire. Got some, actually, I think there's some interesting ads this week. There's nothing like you're going to spend all your money on if you're with an auction. But there's some solid pickups, I think. So we'll go over all of that in a minute. Before we do that, make sure you guys go check us out on Twitter at the FF Profit or Instagram. Fantasy Football Profit is the name there. Go to youtube.com/Fantasy Football Profit to subscribe to us there. Go to patreon.com/Fantasy Football Profit. Check us out all those different places. And as well, go to iTunes, give us 5-star reviews. Always helps to get more and more of those. Gets us up the rankings. More people can find us that way. So keep doing that. But we're going to talk about waivers here, and I guess I'll say it's Monday night, so we're recording this Monday night during Monday Night Football, so I'm distracted right now. I got Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham going in our main league right now, Jeff. I need I don't even know how many more points I still need. Looks like 19, about 19 point something left, and it's 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Oh, it's rough to do a podcast and still try to be here nervous about my game.
Try to watch it.
Because there goes Saquon for 2 yards again.
Luckily,
every 2 yards counts.
I was going to say, my fate is pretty much sealed
as a loss.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm feeling fine.
Are you though? 2 losses in a row? Do you feel that downward momentum? You're like, I would, before you know it, you'll be 5-5.
Luckily, right? That's my nightmare. But no, I'm actually feeling really good. I lost outside of conference. Some good guys were on bye. I kind of figured out. I set myself up in a good place, and I screwed myself this week, so I can only have myself to blame. So I feel good about it. I think I'll bounce back with a win.
We'll see.
I'll be 5-2. I think I'm still the best team.
Maybe. I don't know anymore. But all right, let's talk about some of these waiver wire ads this week. So, there's I'll start it off talking about Oakland running backs because I'm not 100% sure how it's going to shake out. I think Jalen Richard is probably the better ad just because he's going to be involved in the pass game for sure. And I think he's going to get a good amount of carries, but Doug Martin he's going to be there. I just don't know how it's all going to play out yet, between Doug Martin. Is Doug Martin going to take over the Lynch role, you think? And Richard will just stay what he's been doing, or does Richard increase? I don't have an answer. I don't. And that's why I'm putting them both up here, because I wish I had an answer, but it's pretty much impossible to know. But I guess there is a good chance that Martin just kind of gets slotted into the Lynch role, and maybe Martin is the one who's going even slightly under the radar right now compared to Richard, because all I hear is Richard.
Yeah, and that'll be the question. Both are the exact same percentage, 17.7% owned in ESPN leagues. I don't think anyone knows, and that's the issue. I'd lean a little more. I think Doug Martin might be a little safer, but I feel like they're trying to figure out they're cleaning the house, right? What do we have here? So I feel like figuring out if Richard is actually worth keeping around. He's been there a few years, hasn't really panned out quite yet. I know people probably jump all over me, hasn't had a chance, whatever it may be, but he hasn't. He hasn't jumped out. Doug Martin, they took a shot on him. He hasn't impressed enough to really cut into Marshawn Lynch, who was playing well, but it leads me to believe they aren't overly impressed with him. And I think Richard may be the better play here. I don't think either one is going to really, win you the league. But if you're hurting for a running back, maybe I go that way. And they probably will be even worse now that they're kind of the way they are, getting rid of Amari. Obviously, everyone's got to be a little afraid for their job. So they probably will be down, and to your point, he obviously is the third down back, so he has a better shot at catching the ball than running right now.
Yeah, so, man, now they just traded away Amari Cooper, so I don't even know what the pass game's going to look like. I don't know if I want a part of this team, actually.
No, I really don't. First of all,
Cooper hasn't really been helping.
Yeah, I was like, is the loss of Amari Cooper really going to hurt him too much? Yeah. I know everyone's like, he's amazing. He hasn't been good. Yeah, exactly. He's a very talented guy that never put it together.
Yeah, true.
He looked the best his rookie year.
Yeah, it's true. So, I think I would probably take a shot. I mean, okay, in PPR leagues, probably Richard. And, they're both owned in 17.7 leagues. Is that really?
I know, right?
That's really
It's
true.
funny.
Like, that's weird. But I think I'd take a chance on Martin. I just have a feeling. I think he's just going to take over that Lynch spot, and that's how it's going to be used. So I don't know if I love that, but hey, running back's not a great position right now. Again, like running back's terrible. You have all the receivers in the world you want, but you can't find running backs. You can't find tight ends. So I think you take a shot at any running back you can possibly get, and maybe you get some Doug Martin magic from a couple years ago. Maybe he still has a little left in him. I
mean, and DeAndre Washington is supposed to be coming back from injury.
It's going to be three-headed backfield.
Yeah, just to muddy the water even more.
It's like we get these backfields open up and everyone gets excited, but then it's like Corey Clement, Wendell Smallwood, and they're just a mix and no one's great. You don't love any of it, but you got to take a shot. So, all right. So other than the Oakland guys, who would probably top your list? A 49er running back up there?
Yeah, I like Raheem. He's only owned in 3.9%. People are not buying into it, but I kind of am. I like what I saw so far. I mean, really with that team too, they've been somewhat competitive.
Yep.
But, at this point, Alfred Morris, he did get some touches finally after that really bizarre game where he got nothing. But I thought Raheem looked better than the other two.
Yeah. He came out of nowhere to all of a sudden overtake Morris.
It was kind of bizarre how it went down.
Well, he led the team in touches, yards. He only had 7 carries, but he did well with those 7 carries. So, I think it's really worth a shot because this could be somebody who starts to get a lot more action. It's Morris. We know what Alfred Morris is, and he's just not that great. He never has been. He's always just been an okay guy. And, I think you could take a shot here. Looks like they're going to keep using him more and more. Beckham just got like a 25-yard catch, and then Barkley had 10. So, feeling good. Getting better. All right. I got to stop watching the game. But, yeah, I agree. He's right up here. I just don't know. Okay, well, how would you slot? Would you put him or the Oakland running backs? Where would you go with them?
I think I like, how do you say his last name? Do you know?
I don't know.
Mostert?
Raheem.
Yeah, Raheem. I like that better anyway. Raheem. I like I like what I've seen from him the most. He probably has a more of an uphill battle. So if you need someone right now, I think, Doug Martin has the best ability to score a touchdown. I think Jalen Richard is the long shot, and I think Mostert is the highest ceiling guy. Yep. But me, I would go Mostert, but that's also what I need. I don't necessarily need to plug in one of these guys.
Yeah. I think because I just don't know how it's going to play. Thing is, none of it's great. It's just. Hey, what other options are okay? Other running back options. Let's throw out let's go running backs and receivers. How about that? The other running back options aren't great either. Ronald Jones, I'm still going to throw him out there because Peyton Barber isn't good. He had one good week, so at some point maybe he starts to do something more. It's possible. It's possible, and you can take a shot. Take it. Maybe you don't know.
He finally got a touchdown, but 6 carries for 13 yards.
Come on, Eli.
Wolf.
Threw it in the end zone there.
Come on, Eli.
Odell, but it didn't happen. Deontay Foreman, another one.
Yeah, that one. At least that one's intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Miller actually did well last game. I don't know where Foreman is as far as rehabbing and coming back and
he should be getting closer, we think, but we don't know.
To a point where you can actually be a starting running back is a whole different story.
But Miller, I don't know.
I kind of like that one.
Miller might not get rid of the job. He was good last week.
He did really well, actually.
He doesn't do that every week. He has a lot of bad ones too. So you just got to, never know what one's going to be there. You know what? I might take a shot on Rashad Penny. Just if you have a bench spot. Just because, hey, Seattle, you don't know what they're going to do with their running backs ever. They've always changed up real quick, so maybe just take a shot there. Any other running backs?
No, unless I'm missing someone.
I mean, there really, to me, isn't any other options. I mean, Chris Ivory, you could look at Chris Ivory with McCoy if he's going to be out a week. We don't know about the concussion. And if McCoy misses a week, Ivory could be decent. But to be honest, we were worried about starting LaShawn McCoy, are you really going to want to just slot in Chris Ivory? You
Right.
know, I mean, I don't, but that is a possible option. But that's probably about it at running back. And come on, Eli, throw the freaking ball. He just got sacked again. That guy sucks so bad. It was 3rd and 6. He just holds it and holds it and holds it. Come on, just throw the ball. Oh, Jeff, I can't deal with this. Fantasy football sucks, man. Not fun. All right.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I mean, the only other person who is even, and this is for a dire need just for 1 week, you could technically put, Barner from New England on your team if you're in dire needs. Like, in the waiver claim, I would definitely put him like 3rd, what you're going to grab. But if you absolutely need one in the bye weeks, probably more than likely Sony Michel is going to be out at least one more week.
Then how about some wide receivers? I'll say I actually like Traquan Smith this week is my number 1 wide receiver pickup.
Any particular reason why he is this week? Or you just starting to warm on the guy?
Ginn's out now, so Smith is going to be the guy there. This is number 2. I mean, he didn't set the world on fire last week, but they're going to.
He was involved against a good defense.
There. He's out there, so so a lot of people are going to say Tyrell Williams as should be the top, but I like Traquan better than Tyrell for some reason. I think Tyrell is so big play dependent. Where, he's had 2 great weeks in a row, but then he's on a bye now. When he comes back, I don't know. What do you think about Tyrell Williams? Would you go Williams or Traquan if you were up there at this spot? I like Traquan. He only had 3 catches both weeks, but I don't know. Something about him.
I don't know. If you're just filling in, I think I've seen this before from San Diego, from the Chargers, wide receivers, because they have so many of them and they are pretty talented, but you never know who is going to be from week to week. It could easily just, Mike Williams could finally break out. Keenan Allen could just catch 15 balls. Yes, he's done really, really well the past 2 weeks, but where was he before that? Will they continue? If it was just for 1 week, I'd probably ride the hot hand, but I think Traquan, from what you've seen, he definitely has upside, and he's on, Drew Brees is killing it right now. So I have no issue with that, but I probably would lean Tyrell, but I'm not a huge fan of that because I really do think that might just be for 1 more week. I think that's a Band-Aid at best.
Yeah, probably. What about Marquez Valdez-Scantling? A couple good weeks from Green Bay. I know they might be a little healthier now at wide receiver, but has he earned maybe a spot? I guess we won't know until he gets out there with other players around him.
I was going to say, that's the question, though. I don't know what is going to happen there with Geronimo Allison. And Geronimo Allison is finally in the back under 40%.
Oh, yeah, he could be. He's been on our list so many times, forget about it.
Yeah, so I don't know. Which one do you actually take a shot at?
I think you'd still probably go Geronimo out of these, but he's missed 2 weeks now, right? Is that 2 weeks?
I think 3, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he had the bye. He missed 2 and then a bye. So he hasn't played, we haven't seen him out there since week 4. It's been a while. But I think it's probably still Geronimo, but this week's never, they're going against the Rams. So that's not, a great matchup anyway. But
yeah, it's bad.
Any interest whatsoever in picking up Devontae Parker? I think I ask the same question every week.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm completely off the guy.
I think
100%.
He played
off.
5 snaps, I think.
He could come back and catch 4 touchdowns, and I would still be like, nah, he's trash. He's that far removed from my mind now.
Yeah. He just can't even think about him at all. So is there any of the wide receivers here? Michael Gallup actually did something finally, but that was a couple, 1 catch.
Right,
maybe.
and now they got Amari Cooper. So he finally catches, and really he caught 3 balls. It did not look good. The person that still is intriguing to me, I know that he's once again, he's not there yet where you're going to want to play him, but Christian Kirk, at least he's on the right track. He keeps making the right places, right catches, being in the right place. But last game, we kind of said it. He caught everything in the 4th quarter for the most part. 2 out of his 3 came in the same drive. So do I want to start him? No, but he's been more consistent than a lot of these other guys. And I like the fact that he is learning with the young quarterback. They're developing rapport. I think this guy will be more of a second-year breakout, but if you need be, or if you want to find out if he becomes anything, I think he's probably a little better than a lot of these other options you can go for.
So I was just looking through some of these players down here in the ownership percentages, and I almost forget that Brandon Marshall still plays in the NFL.
Yeah, no. Sad enough.
It is kind of sad. But yeah, there's not a lot of other great and in the waiver wire, I keep waiting for something bigger. It hasn't happened yet, but I don't know.
Even with these shakeups and injuries and trades, I still don't like anyone. That's how crazy it is.
I'm looking like in our main league we're in, we have a pretty deep bench. And I've always been one that loves to work the waiver wire and pick up players and drop players and stuff. And I have like 3 players on my bench right now that I'd gladly drop. And I have no one to pick up. I don't know what to do. It's weird this year. There's just at some point somebody's really going to step. I mean, and you know what? Maybe it's one of these. It's maybe it's Doug Martin or maybe it's Jalen Richard, and we just don't know it because they don't look great right now. But hopefully someone else steps up there. So any tight ends looking at this week under 40% right now? Probably not. I mean, there's just really Ben Watson had a pretty solid week. So if you need somebody that's down there, Ben Watson's probably your pickup. I mean,
why is the waiver wire so bad?
It is.
There's nothing here, man.
Ben Watson, really, that's your main tight end option.
He's the only one. I mean, technically, Uzma. I've been singing his praises lately, but he's technically over. He's 40.2%, but screw that rule.
He only had 2 catches, though. It just happened to
He did, but he caught a touchdown the games before, 54 yards, 43, about the time where obviously Eifert got hurt. And he's about to go against Tampa Bay. You're grasping at straws here. That's how weak this position is. I mean, honestly,
I'd take a chance on like Mike Gesicki or Dallas Goedert, one of the rookies.
Dallas Goedert is.
I'd take a chance on one of those guys.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, neither of them will catch a lot. You're just hoping that they catch the big one.
Yep, and I'm telling we went over this on the Week 7 review too a little bit about tight end. It's just ugly. It's an ugly position this year, and just I don't know. It's not getting any better right now. Then, yeah, got you found one in there.
I was looking for him. I was thinking Roberts from Detroit.
Yeah.
I only say that because he caught 2 touchdowns last week.
Nah.
I don't even know where he is on this list. He is owned by no one for good reason. But that's how crazy it is.
Yep.
He was a top 5 guy this last week.
So might as well see if there's any streaming quarterbacks this week. Sometimes the percentage I don't worry about as much at quarterbacks. So if like Trubisky's out there, he's owned at 51% of leagues. I'd probably play Trubisky if you're streaming quarterbacks going against the Jets. It's been good. So that's probably one I would play. Other than that, we got Baker Mayfield going against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's been, pretty poor against the pass this year. And Baker's been good enough, and for the most part, he should be able to. He did decent enough against Tampa. And if this is where you're at, you might need to play him because what else is there right now? I mean, Baker Mayfield, Trubisky, if he's there, not playing Eli. That's about it. Because you got Dak, and Dak's on bye this week. Maybe he has another, wide receiver to throw to. You're not going to play Blake Bortles. He's terrible. He could get pulled at any time. So, streaming quarterback options, they're not there this week. Baker Mayfield probably is the best one if you
Brock
can't get Trubisky.
Osweiler.
Right? Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what are you going to do? Like,
I just love
he's 32 and 21.8.
I mean, jokingly, but yeah, I mean, it's true.
He's he's been better than like Derek Carr.
Going against Houston,
yeah.
But I'm hoping there's definitely someone better that you can put out there.
I don't know if there is.
I'm not sure.
There probably isn't. I don't see who that person would be. No.
It's got to be.
No. It just isn't.
I don't know. Andy Dalton, a bounce back against Tampa Bay.
Should be. Okay, Dalton should be a great play this week.
Well, he should have been fine against KC, too. That's the issue.
I can't trust him. And he didn't throw the ball to Tyler Boyd, which is still upsetting me. God, Andy. All right. That's good. I have no more for waiver wire. I don't like it this week.
No, it's the same people. I mean, Kiki QT is still out there. I'm not as enamored with him, but he'll have a better matchup than he did against Jacksonville, obviously.
Yeah, in your league, maybe there's better players than what we, just said. There's always a good possibility.
Remember, we're only talking about people that are owned in 40% or less in ESPN league. So if there's someone out there, they had to, drop him for whatever reason.
Like Marlon Mack. Let's say Marlon Mack, because he's 53% owned. So if Marlon Mack's available in your league, he's obviously the top of the list. He was our top last week, and he would just vault to the top of the list. Easily.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Why don't we take a quick look at people that might fall through the cracks in other leagues just because?
Yeah, definitely Marlon Mack. He's for sure. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, that's a big time pickup if he's out there, and he's going to be out there in some people's leagues. Maybe no one did it last week and thought they just didn't buy into it yet. Yeah, Marlon Mack's he's the main one I see out there.
Yep, that's pretty much it. I think everyone and their mother, picked up Nick Chubb. He jumped.
You would think,
57% in 1 week.
And if you've been listening to us since the beginning of the season, he made our waiver wire show how many weeks I think in a row? It was always on there.
Right, exactly. And Duke Johnson a little bit lower, but he'll be interesting, kind of a wait and see guy.
Yep. But there's some. It's hard to say. Every league's different, and who's actually, because Latavius Murray might be out there in your league, and if Cook's out, you play Latavius Murray, so it's a player like that. So, but all right, I think that'll do it for week 8. Week 8 waiver wires. We'll be back with another episode tomorrow. Talk to you guys then.